All right, Victorum Gaming fans, SPQR fans, thanks for checking in again. Today we are starting a new trilogy here on our scenario reviews for the game, and we're kicking off with Iberia here. So again, one of the probably lesser well-known or probably played factions, but still really cool. And they, of course, have their own series of battles as well. So they have Tweak the Tail, which is what this video will be. Then Invasion we'll cover in the next video, and finally Headhunting as well. So yeah, and again, really different playstyle than a lot of the other lists here too. So they have a really interesting scenario to start off with here. So this first one's called Tweak the Tail. You can see there's already kind of a funky deployment. The Iberians have a little bit more of a flanking thing going on with more space. Whereas the defenders are kind of bottled up or boxed in a little bit. So both players have the same Denari. Enemy players, the defender, Iberians are going to be the attacker, and again that triggers off of certain abilities and so on and so forth. The defending player deploys all their models, and then the Iberian player deploys all theirs, and the Iberian player also gets to go first. So again, we've talked about this at length across many different videos, but you know, anytime you can force the opponent to put all their stuff down first, it gives you great information. You get to see what all their forces and kind of analyze from there and see what they're maybe game planning for, whereas the Iberians then get to deploy how they need to, and again they have that extra deployment, so they don't get to deploy as far up in the center, but they're gearing towards like a sort of a pincer attack with being able to basically go up to midpoint on the battlefield, assuming a 4x4 table here. And from there, we're basically, getting to set up how we need to. So ideally, the Iberians are taking advantage of what they need to take advantage of there, and they're also going first. So knowing that is key. That being said, they're going to need to take advantage of that because again, you want to set up to put yourself in a good spot to win the scenario, and so on and so forth. So speaking of which, special rules here. The defending forces have been goaded by the Iberians to break formation and advance in a reckless manner where they can be picked off. So before the first turn, after all the units on both sides have been deployed, every enemy unit must make a bravery check, and if it fails, the Iberian player may choose to move it straight ahead a distance of up to 12 inches. This may take the unit out of its deployment area, but may not leave it in difficult or dangerous terrain. So you can really mess with someone's deployment. That being said, if you're playing against a really good leadership army, they're probably not going to fail too many of them, but they might just fail with that one unit they really didn't want to get out of place. So you can certainly put things in a way where they're not going to be set up the way they want to be, and you might just be able to pull like a weak unit really out of position, and then sort of like pounce on it turn one, and get that jump on the enemy overall, and just start whittling them down. But again, a very good leadership army throughout is probably not going to fail much either. So, I wouldn't necessarily count on that, but it is an interesting possibility. So, and the key thing, you just can't leave them in difficult or dangerous terrain. So obviously you want to leave some room and stuff there in the center, so you wouldn't want to clutter that too much. But on the other hand, as the defender, what can you do to counter that? Well, deploy, in kind of a balanced way. Stack any like leadership or bravery bonuses, so where like most of your army is covered, so then you will fail fewer rolls, and ultimately, really, you could also play very defensively and sort of deploy further back to your table edge, so that way if they do manage to pull any of your stuff out of order, ultimately even moving 12 inches up, they're just still moving you to like the edges or just slightly beyond your deployment zone to still keep a respectable distance between you and the Iberians. So it's an interesting ability, but again, it's not going to be like a guaranteed, oh, the Iberians are going to screw up your whole army's deployment or anything like that either. So just be careful of that. Victory conditions then. The fight continues until all models in one of the warbands have been completely removed from the table, either through injury or failure of will to fight. So basically, this is a kill-em-all mission, ultimately, at the end of the day. Nothing special about it, but just with some potential unique early shenanigans on the Iberian part. But again, the Iberians really should take advantage of their actual deployment zone. And again, moving the defenders into bad positions here. So again, obviously the defender should know what the special rules are before deploying. That'd be kind of cheaty to not explain that to them and then screw up their deployment. But you just want to mitigate what potentially is being put out of place. So the Iberians are gonna be a lot focused on skirmishing and little harassment type shenanigans. So they're not really gonna want that sort of prolonged straight up fight where, especially against something like, let's say, Roman Legion or something like that. So, or phalanxes and stuff like that either. So, or even a cavalry list is going to be pretty nasty because they will bring the pain to you pretty fast. So, that being said, again, this should probably be a board that has like a decent amount of terrain, some hills and wooded areas and whatever else, but not probably too cluttered. But again, just could be an interesting one where you do get a couple of key units out of place for the enemy, and ideally try to put them in some bad positions there as well. So and really, as the Iberians, that center line is definitely fairly far back for you. But if you went all in on sort of the pincer attack here, that could be pretty nasty too. So just different things to consider. But again, it's another way of sort of just spicing up what is otherwise the whoever kills the most or kills everything else wins kind of mission, with just a little bit of funky deployment and some other shenanigans there too. It would be interesting to see if there were some ways to maybe more consistently maybe force that for the Iberians. So maybe if this just proves like it never really works too much as far as moving them, just either the opponents are all like too high leadership or something like that. You could set it like as a house rule, maybe try it with like they get a -1 to their leadership because they're fighting in Iberian territory or something like that. So there could be lots of interesting ways of tweaking the scenario too, depending on what you want to do with it. But could be some fun matchups too, and it doesn't always have to be Iberians, right? You could try this with somebody else versus somebody, just any two armies basically. So you have lots of possibilities there to really test this out and see if you can survive as the defender having your battle line or deployment potentially messed with versus an opponent who is essentially gearing up to outflank you on two sides. So overall, really cool way, really neat little scenario to start off with for the Iberians. So hope you enjoyed our little look here. So this was Tweak the Tail for Iberians in SPQR. And if you could, drop us a like and a comment if you haven't already. Subscribe as well. We do appreciate all of that, and hope you guys have a good day, and we'll be back with the next video in the series.